I didn't have Akane getting catfished on my Yamada-kun bingo card, but I am so glad that she got catfished. Not gonna lie, I thought it was the old man. Initially, when it was building into it, I was like, okay, we see this like old man who seems sweet as can be, but what if the old man was Ruri? Because at first, when they're walking together, we get introduced to this pretty boy. I was like, oh, okay, like what if the boy that she keeps blowing off, because he's mentioning, I play with my friend, I was like, oh, what if maybe, like, it's gonna be this awkward thing where they bump into each other and he's really trying his hardest, but she really still doesn't have interest. And turns out the little gothic Lolita who's kind of clinging onto our boy Yamada isn't Ruri, despite the physical physique and build and the wardrobe is pretty much identical. Like, that has to be the inspiration of what made Ruri's character Ruri. Turns out, Pretty Boy is actually Ruri, and I mean, there's worse ways to be catfish. It could have been what I thought was going to happen to her ex-boyfriend. Initially, like I said in my last video there, when I was covering episodes 1 and 2, I was like, oh, I honestly thought like the boyfriend was basically dumping her for probably like some old guy on the internet not knowing. And honestly, the catfishing in this show is surprisingly wholesome, all things considered. But I love how her friend earlier into this episode was like, hey, do you even know she's a girl? And she's like, yeah, of course. And honestly, even though like it's kind of a flag saying, hey, start questioning it, you don't really think, because the show's oddly wholesome, right? The drama that's there isn't really anything to ruin things. More so, it kind of reminds me of Toma-chan as a girl from the last season. They bring up drama, but they seemingly resolve it just as quick, so it doesn't become a pointless plot thread that ruins things, and I'm loving it. Full live reaction available on my Patreon if you're interested in seeing my full uncut thoughts. This was a great episode. They end the episode like around the 18-minute mark, and you're like, okay, like why are they doing that? But it kind of makes sense because they rewind back to the end of episode 1 when our boy takes our girl home, and it is funny, it is sweet, and if that doesn't pierce your heart Cupid's arrow style, I don't know what will. His buddies online getting pissed that he's late, and then once he says he has a girl in his bed, they're all asking for pics. If you can't give pics, draw it, and your sins will be forgiven. I love that. And I just like seeing that moment where, because she clearly doesn't remember this point, but for him, just the fact that she's hugging, being like, you know, just leave, and he can just tell something's wrong. He's confused about romance. He's not the most intelligent man when it comes to the romantic love life, but he gets she needs this, and he lets it happen, and it was wholesome. I am very excited because the idea of this guild finally meeting up together, most of which have already done so, but for our girl, obviously hasn't. She's very much getting into the system where she much prefers online gaming and bonding with people who play said game than going out for drinks with her friend who's trying to set her up. The dude she set her up with honestly was a really nice guy. I felt bad for him because it's not like he was weird or creepy, like, she was giving so many mixed signs of like seemingly being interested but also kind of separating, so he was taking his shot. He was like, oh, you're a gamer? Assuming mobile games. He's a very casual gamer, right? He's playing Candy Crush, he's not playing Warcraft, right? But he was trying, and the fact that he was doing his research and she just wasn't giving in, I mean, I was like, oh, bless his heart, he tried, but there's other fish in the sea, my boy. And that's why I really was like, oh, this person she's walking with must be the kind of casual gamer guy that she was getting hooked up with. And then it just hit me like an East Guide truck. Hell, I thought we were gonna get an Isekai truck. Anytime I see characters run across the road, I get red flags. That's just how much Isekai trash I am at this point. But it is really, really great. The fact that this girl, it's gotta be family, right? Like, that's my assumption, but I'm not sure. Like, 100% though, there's no way that the boy we get introduced to who plays as Ruri as a character had to have gotten inspiration from this gothic Lolita who's probably a lot younger than all of them, and I'm interested to see the connection, because you would assume little sister or cousin, but then again, Yamada lives alone seemingly, so I don't know. There's a lot of questions, but I like the fact that, similar to, as I mentioned, Toma-chan is a girl, even if you didn't watch that show, it basically does what this episode does. It gives you the flags of doubt of, oh, she's worried that he's in a relationship, therefore drama. These types of shows, they love to make drama last for a few episodes before misunderstandings get obliterated. She was confused, she didn't know what to do, and by the end of the episode, they're all meeting up together face to face, and things are gonna start making a lot more sense. So I like the fact that they're not dragging pointless drama out, which we've seen these types of shows do time and time again, and instead is just writing something that feels different and unique, and I really enjoy my time with it. The comedy remains on point, it's honestly relatable in some weird ways. whether it's the awkwardness of, you know, trying to fit into a different type of social climate but just wanting to go back to your mouse and keyboard, to even just her not knowing how to navigate a phone app. I mean, just the Google Maps, it can be a head scratcher. It tells you it's right there and you're like, am I just an idiot? I felt her on an emotional level when she was trying to find that cafe, damn it, and I love my time with this one. Like, honestly, this is without a doubt one of the fresher romance series, and I am a sucker for video games, so anytime you give me a show where they're playing a video game and you direct it as if we're in the game, like they got teleported in or something, it has this cute chibi aesthetic, and then you have just such fun. I mean, even the characters' wardrobes, like we've seen our girl in multiple outfits, and it doesn't just feel like a copy and paste, okay, character going to a bar outfit or character going to a school outfit. Like, it feels like she has her own wardrobe and own personality. And I like the fact that this show has such an attention to detail in a way that's easy to miss, but when you start stripping away the layers that make an episode what it is, it actually has a lot of charm going for it. It's cute, it's fun. I think the main relationship that everyone's probably collectively rooting for between Yamada and Akane is incredibly engaging and worth our time, but they have enough potential obstacles of like, oh, is this going to be a love triangle, or could this be drama? It's not enough to ruin or be cliche, but it's enough to give it a little bit of a spice while they quickly resolve and move on to the next obstacle without really dragging their toes too much, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I checked out the first 2 episodes last week when episode 2 dropped, loved my time with it, now leaving the 3rd episode. Some people follow that 3-episode rule. Personally, for me, I watch things as long as they entertain me. It doesn't matter if it's 1 minute into a first episode or it's 10 minutes into its 12th. I drop off when things don't interest me anymore. But I have to say, if you do follow that 3-episode rule, for me personally, I might say the 3rd episode was the best. Honestly, I've been saying that all day today, whether it's Hell's Paradise, whether it's Yamada-kun, whether it's, you know, Heavenly Delusion. There's something about these shows that are getting better with each episode. Very different shows, mind you, but they know how to keep the momentum going and how to keep the viewer's eyes engaged to the screen. I really think if there's a romance anime that's brand new to check out this season, this is the one that has clicked for me the most. It has the most intriguing premise, and honestly, it's nice having a more adult-centered cast. Like, yes, Yamada is a senior in high school and our girl's only like 1st year into college, but there's like, it's not like a giant age gap that makes it feel like, oh, he's just some kid in high school and she's like some adult in college. Like, they're mostly around the same age anyway, but it does feel more adult oriented, whether it's them going out drinking and partying and stuff. It just, honestly, I like that, but they still have the wholesome, more kind of innocent approach when it comes to some of the younger cast within this show, and I like what they're doing. It's a blend of mature meets simplistic childlike fun, and I just really, really enjoy my time with this one. But thoughts and feelings, what are you thinking? We're now 3 episodes in. What did you think? Let me know down below. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new around here. Be sure to ring that bell, of course, so you can get notified when I upload on the channel, and as I mentioned, we do have that full live reaction available on my Patreon. And while you're there, you can also get a video shout out. So today we have Chawwick, Mai, and Brandon J. Wright. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.